we're set. We are set.
Good afternoon, one lady and a lot of gentlemen. Good afternoon, guys.
After.
Yeah, makes sense now. So welcome to Football Association of Malawi headquarters. I'm here with the Frames head coach, Mr. Kalisto Pasuwa, and Mr. Kalisto Pasuwa is the one who is heading the technical panel for the Malawi, the Frames. So since being hired as the Frames head coach, you, the press, you hadn't have time maybe to ask some questions, more especially on the progress of the Flames. It's only when we are having the press conferences for the game, but then this is your time, and that's why you were invited to have an interface for the head coach. You can see after he enters, he greeted you all, which has never happened. Mostly, you just come and sit, you ask questions, and he goes. But then, since being hired as the Flames coach, Malawi has played 11 games, and we have won 3 games, we have drew 2 games, and we have lost 5 games. So, colleagues, this is your show, and I would want you to ask as many questions as you can to the coach. So, firstly, I'll give to the coach. Maybe he should just give a brief background on where we are coming from and where we are going as a team. So, one lady and gentlemen, this is Kalisto Pasuwa, the head coach for Malawi.
Good afternoon. Yeah, I hope I find you well. Yeah, we have been in our journey. We have played Chan, and we went also to play Kosafa in our games that we were playing. Yeah, as coaches, we are very professional enough. We were trying also to be building a team. As you know, maybe we are trying to build a team that will qualify for AFCON 2027. So in building up a team, you at times also go into risk mode where you need to see each and every player playing in the national team. And also one area which I thought we should have to know also, at times when we are building a team, we look also on age to say, yes, we know outside this we might need instant results of saying maybe if we take an experienced player, we can get a result. But also we need to take into mind to say we need youngsters who can be the next future players of our national team. And I thought maybe we had most of them in the Chan squad who played well, very positive in terms of the way they were playing out of position and also in position, and playing structured football, where mostly, if you saw maybe in our last games also that we were playing at times, we end up conceding. So it's in those moments that we still need to see, to work on as coaches, so that we can come up with results. But also it needs time when making all these happen and get a result. Then in our last tournament that we went in Kosafa, yes, we chose again players, and maybe it was a surprise also to see some of the guys like Alec Lungu not in the part of the squad that we took, and we had also Lloyd Aroni not part of it. Unfortunately, maybe I wasn't around. We announced the team, but we couldn't meet so that we can explain the squad. Yes, we took these players like Emmanuel, who replaced Alec, and we had other guys also who came in, Blessing Pokera. We thought to say to some of the guys whom we had seen, to say this one can be part of us in the squad that will be like playing the AFCON, we couldn't take them. That's because we know they could be one of our players whom we were supposed to be using. So we wanted also to see new players who were coming in, like in the sense of the games that we played like in Kosafa. If we had Alik, we couldn't have played Emmanuel. If we had Nixon, we couldn't have played Blessing in Pokera. If we had also Lloyd Aaron, who couldn't have played Singini. So that is what I'm saying, to say at times also us as coaches, we risk in order for us to see each and every player, and at the end of the day, we'll have a strong squad that will make us compete. So yes, we went to Kosafa to compete, and we couldn't score. But again, as you know, scoring is an art. You need to work on it. And the boys, maybe in terms of structured football, they responded well. And you could even see maybe out of position, they were maybe looking for the ball in numbers. And even also on transition, very, very, very well, especially in the last two games that we played. But it was the scoring part of it. So, yeah, we'll still be working on it. And we saw the positives. And now we try to work on the negatives and correct it so that we can come up with a good team. I thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Coach. Colleagues, and this is your time now. You can ask whatever question you would want Mr. Kalisto Pasuwa to take. Just make sure it should be concerning the frames, because that's what we are here for. So, first you introduce yourself, then you proceed with your question. I think we'll be taking 2 questions per session.
Maybe I'll start off with your last question of failing to score. When I said scoring is an art, you see, when national team level, mostly they play structured football, and they will push you to go in the sides. Mostly that's when you hear a team is very solid in terms of how they play. So I'm one of those coaches who are supposed to be coaching those players also, to say we are supposed to have movements of running into space. I can only run into space after having been created. It needs a coach maybe to be coaching them. They can't do it on their own. It's different from maybe our local football that we play, where we play route 1 football. Maybe you're having 2 strikers who are up in the field of play. Then we hit the ball forward, the other one flicks, and we go and score. This one now is different, where you need to be very tactically good in order for you to be scoring. On the selection of Bulls players, thank you very much on that. Yes, I'm wearing a face of being a former Bulls coach, but I remember when I came here, I came as a coach, and I'm very professional enough where I'm supposed to exercise my professionalism into Malawians. And one thing which will make a team is, firstly, you need to be having combinations. I'm given 2 days of training. Then in those 2 days, at times, if you take 3 players, to say 4 of these players that are used to each other, they can combine well, maybe, in order for us to give us a result. Then taking it out of that, then again, Bullets have been playing in Champions League. And in Champions League, you know, there is structured football where they have seen the other kind of football when we are playing at national team. So that's one aid again on these other players of Bullets. Then I've seen here in Malawi, we are having also another which we need to exercise. Some of the teams, maybe they might not have money, but I'm telling you, start of the season, you hear most of the players who are playing good in Mponera, they are playing, in Kamuzu Barak, They've been bought by Wanderers. They've been bought by Bullets. So you can find to say most of the players whom we are saying they are good at times tactically, they will be in these big teams. Hence, at times you see some of these players whom we are taking to the national team. It's not to say maybe we favor them much, but that's something that he has. And we had many players who are coming from outside to say we are having professionals who are playing in Europe. Those players, they can come and help us tactically without even telling them what to do. And they can also help the players who will be in the national team in order for us to be bringing results. We have been conceding goals. Firstly, maybe conceding goals when we are outnumbered, to say one player is injured and is being treated outside. Others are failing to respond when they are playing with less number. Then two, we are being scored either from a restart or from a second ball. So it's one type of a ball that we are being scored. Then two, we've got some minutes that we are supposed to be very careful when we are playing football. First 10 minutes of the game, last 10 minutes of first half, first 10 minutes of second half, the last 10 minutes of second half. So if you can see, mostly those are the moments that we are being scored. So we need to work with them. We need also to teach them. It's us who are supposed to be teaching them to know all these things that are supposed to be happening. Remember, we are playing football at the highest level. Any mistake, you are punished. But so far, if you look, we had problems of one I had guard Chirwa, tactically. He's a good player. When we were playing him, most of the time he was struggling tactically. Maybe he could run anywhere. Now at national team level, at times you need to be playing according to how we have been told by the coaches to do. Because if you run into spaces which are not yours, will be caught on transition mostly, especially the spaces that you leave. You can be punished. Then also we have Emmanuel Nyirenda, a surprise, a boy who came and stood tall. He did very well as one of the left center backs. And we had also Blessing Mpokera. Yeah, we couldn't expect more from him. And when we were playing the ball out of maybe from the back, very good, or even in terms of communication, they responded well. Then we had Singini in the central midfield. And if you even saw the way he played when we was playing side with Yanko Sinko, they did as if they've been playing together for a long time. That's the kind of depth that we've been looking maybe in the midfield, to say we can't be having one player, we need depth. To say this day we can play the other one, the other day we play any of the options. Then we had also Chawanangwa Gumbo. He played well, maybe in half spaces, and he did well. We lose the ball most of the time. You could see him in his position. We have also Chikumbutso Salima. I played him again. We're trying to teach them also in unfamiliar positions. And most of the time he was playing more of a winger, but again in this game we worked him to be playing in half space, and he did very well. The same thing again with Promise. Promise, although he didn't score, but what you wanted from him, he did very well. And it's very unfortunate, like I said, we need now to teach them the movements. Movements of saying if Promise creates space, it's one of these midfielders who goes to fill up the void. Then also the same thing again with our guard Chirwa, who was playing outside, and the Wisdom, Mpinganjira, who was playing also on the left side. They did very well. And Wisdom, remember, most of the time we were having problem where, and that's another player again whom I called to say he should have to participate in COSAFA, although he was one of the regulars in our AFCON games or even World Cup qualifiers. But I took him. I wanted also to be teaching. Like I told you, to say we don't have enough time with these boys. So it's only this time that we thought Wisdom also we should sit down and try to teach him to play in that position, and also to realize to say him can be one of the strikers who can score goals for us. Yeah, on the results, I said we went to compete, and unfortunately we couldn't win the games or even to score a goal. But remember, we said we're trying to build a team. I can easily say now I have players who can be part of the squad to be playing in our next games. And those are some of the positives. And also the experience that I know I saw maybe in these guys playing. Remember, we played with solid teams to an extent of the other coaches, especially of Angola, coming to me asking me to say how many players plays in Europe. But we have got only players who are playing locally here. They were even saying they are playing in Europe. So it's positives in terms of how these boys fared. It's only maybe we didn't get goals. That's why everyone is shaking his head. But it's coming up. Those are positives that will take us through. And solidly in defense, you saw these guys, they've been playing very well. It's only we are conceding from corner kicks, we are conceding from free kicks. So we need to work on that so that we can go forward. Yeah, thank you very much maybe on your questions. I know where you are coming from. You are talking of philosophies. Yes, mostly we have been playing possession football, build-up, possession football, then with fast break attacks. Then, yes, there are times where we need to be very patient enough, trying to invite opponents to come to us, then we attack spaces. But it needs players who are very patient enough, especially the guys who are playing at the back. So for one to play in those spaces, and you need a lot of movements also when you are playing. So I think in this, the other thing that you wanted to know is maybe formations. Of saying maybe first game that we played the 4-3-3, then the 4-2-3-1, then the other one we played the 3-4-3 formations, and which these guys responded well. But again, like I said, we didn't have goals coming, but we will try our best and teach them on that. Then on the other issue, it was on. We are, like we said, in us playing Chan, in us playing Kosafa, you even saw we didn't call the players whom we are saying are regulars in Kosafa. We are trying to build up a team for 2027. Not to say we go there and not compete. We wanted results. These guys also should prove to us to say we need to win games. Then in doing so, that's when we can choose a player to say you can play in World Cup games. Yeah, there are guys who proved. They played well. We have seen them. And we have also talked to some of the guys because we couldn't have had this time, like I was saying, of wisdom. And Gad Chirwa, Chawanangwa and them who are playing in the midfield to correct them. And we did well, and it needs also when you are playing against bigger opponents like the way Angola came to us, and they fared well. Yeah, I was seated on the bench. Remember, I went to check up, and I was told not to be maybe standing for 10 or more than 10 minutes standing upright. And I was still under medical, and it was an instruction from the doctors. Or even until now. Then on your question, yeah, as coaches, at times, like I said maybe in my intro, we risk. In me, taking players who are not supposed to be playing and taking, players who were fringe players and go with them to Kosafa, leaving Lloyd Aroni, leaving Ali Klungu, and some of the players maybe who could remember this was window period where we could have used or even the foreigners. But I said, no, we can't do that because we wanted to give these other players a chance to see if they are capable of being national team players. And I've given an example of saying also, had it been Alec was there, we were not going to use Emmanuel. And with the pressure, like you are saying, of saying we wanted the result against Lesotho, you can't say Emmanuel come in. You can't. You end up not seeing, or even Oscar who came in, the youngster. So at times as coaches also, yeah, we are building. I'm not saying maybe we just go and build and we lose games. We need to have results. So the resistance of these players also in getting results when you are a new player, it will make us know to say, I'm supposed to be part of the national team. First thing is to build a team. And in choosing a player, it means a player is ready to be a national team player. That pride of saying, I'm wearing Malawian national team jersey. And also to see, like I said, in most teams that we're playing in COSAFA, maybe not in our group, because in our group, most of the teams, they brought their players, their stronger sides, whom they use. They were playing with their those whom they are saying they are stronger side. So the confidence of him saying, I've played against a player who plays outside, who plays in Portugal, will make one be part of the team. Or even if you give him a game, you can easily see to say he can be part of us in terms of building our team. Then also in seeing, you see, like I said also to say, in games that we are losing, it's in moments of saying maybe last 15 minutes, and then also a corner kick is coming. I'm supposed to be tracking this man. I mustn't leave him. I should raise up my hand so that he mustn't be running everywhere. It's something that can be coached also by us as coaches, talking to them. So we need to keep on talking to them. Remember, for one to understand, you need to be telling him 3 times. You can't say, I've told him now, then you say, that's a mistake. 3 times, then one you can say, no, this one needs maybe to be set down with him and one-on-one also and see the way forward. Yeah, sorry, on lessons learned, I talked of one. You saw mostly when we are playing with teams with structure, I mean with bigger appearances, like me, I'm taller than this one. Those teams also, they are giving us problems. So one, we need to have to talk, I mean to see the structure of the players that we choose also when we are playing for national team, and also positions to say if they are playing up, yes, it's okay, but there are other positions that you need also to have structure. Then also you look on the way we have been conceding. These are moments which I talked of saying maybe last 10 minutes when you think the game is over, then or even 5 minutes, we'll make a mistake and we are punished. Then to teams also who can be hitting long balls, playing second ball, to say it goes to a striker, then they bring it back. We need also to be managing the second line when playing. Then also to have moments of saying we need to keep the ball away from opponents. We need to invite them, not to say without anyone putting pressure on you, then you hit the ball forward. We end up losing it. So mostly invite them to come into your spaces. Then the moment they do that, you quickly have options of going up, but it needs also the other players who makes forward runs to go forward. So all I can say, we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot, and or even to say, like you saw the last game that we, I mean the second game that we played, where we, it was the first game I think of Lesotho, yeah, where we failed or even to have a shot on goal. They were pushing at, we were having more possession, but we were being pushed to go in the sides. We were being pushed to go in the sides. no penetration through the center in order to unlock them and we go. So it means a lot of movements also through the center and people who has got courage to go to them and provoke them in their own areas which are dangerous in order for us to have goals coming. Yeah, I think on that one, if you can see, maybe it was only me on all the games that we have played who wasn't around maybe when I got sick. But if you talk of this, when the team has been called for national duty, most of them they are around. And we work closely to an extent of me also, I can be in Mzuzu, seeing how these guys are faring, training also their guys when they are in Mzuzu. I can be also in Lilongwe, seeing how other coaches also are doing their business. So we make sure what we do, we are together in order for us to be working on one thing. I think I explained on players. At times, if we say we need an instant result, we can take or even a player who is more than 35 to be, because there are other players who are experienced enough to an extent of saying if you play him, he can give you a result. Then you say we need maybe to choose a player who can play in 2027. You need also to look on age to say how old is the player. Can we be with him maybe in the next 2 years? And then if the answer is positive, you take him. Yeah, a player is given a chance to play. Maybe you can't say you give 20 minutes to a player, then you say you've given him chance. You need 1-2 games for him to see him properly, how he fares. And we were having 24, 23 players. First game, we lost. And remember, we had said we're going to compete. We couldn't quickly change the team, but we wanted also to see how these guys will fare in the next game. And in the next game, then it means we had now 180 minutes which had gone. Then it was the last game where we did put most of these players who ended up coming in. But time is not gone. We can also talk to the bosses who arrange friendly matches and see them also.
Okay. I hope there is no more questions. And let me thank you all for coming. For our coach, Mr. Kalisto Pasuwa. There were a lot of news circulating, and I think when you are going out of the Sydney Jikafa room, you have your answers. I think we'll be having these sessions now and then, so that maybe you should be having an interface with the coach with your questions, so that when you are reporting, you should only report about the truth, not about the speculations. So thank you so much, colleagues, and I may now release the head coach so that maybe you can have some order. He has answered a lot of questions. Thank you so much, colleagues.